We're live. Yes.
Last Thursday.
What's that?
Last Thursday, I was to go to the NPA meeting. And I knew it Tuesday morning, and I knew it Wednesday morning, and Thursday morning, my daughter got up and said, I really don't feel that well, Mom. Fill in at the store for me, which is only open from 5.
Mhm.
Never had another thought of it. BDA. It was that Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Never thought about it, missed it. Like if I had even remembered it and said I can't make it, I could have at least told Wade and like, hey, tag, you're it. I can't go today. But it sucks being a senior. I'm losing my memory. I had 2 shots today. I had a COVID and a tetanus, and now my arm is like sore. You're just like, I don't want to be on camera tonight.
Yeah, I had 2 today.
You had 2 shots?
A COVID and a shingles.
Oh, they asked me if I wanted the shingles, and I said, yeah, but I don't. And if I'm already getting the tetanus and the COVID, can I get the shingles later? Like, I don't want 3 shots today.
Yeah.
I still have my Band-Aid on, even though I should have taken it off. But, oh,
I've got a question for you.
can I? Don't know the answer.
This, I didn't notice it today, that executive session. I didn't tell her, anything different, so she put down cursors.
It's not well, it is personnel. It's kind of about Jim, like the litigators. It's kind of about Jim, right?
No, this is with the listers.
Oh, lifters. Oh, wow. I was thinking the billing.
And
That was crazy.
And I kind of looked. I had printed that out before.
So our listers are not our personnel, right? I mean, they are though. They work for the select board. Technically, the listers work for the select board, right? Because I
Yeah,
think the only thing we're allowed to go into executive session for is personnel.
no, this
We
is,
can.
yeah, this is, yeah,
We can do litigation.
Hi, Ron.
yes.
Let me read it again.
Okay.
Sure, I've read it before. Think we might be live tonight. Yeah, I know. You might have to wave to all your fans out there in Facebook land.
I have a whole lot to do. I don't like splitting pens. Hi, Wade.
Let's change it for modification.
So
It's not working. Get it on. Should have been
Pending to which the bottom, yes.
So,
Definitely it.
do I just say E or
Yeah,
yeah, litigation?
And so that people don't get worried about what that is, you just say.
Yep.
Because otherwise they're gonna think we're suing somebody or something horrible.
How are you? This is all you. Don't mind the apple picking.
Yeah, I'm glad you had this because I also thought that the only thing we could go in for was personnel. But that definitely says litigation.
Yeah.
And then you're probably civil, not.
Okay.
You don't know?
Wow. The club is
Viewers do we have? 0 viewers.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I vomit and then go up and go back out.
Oh, wow.
Down the pole. This is really cool. What are you gonna do? Getting back up to.
Over the weekend, pumping thing down, trucking. Take the little motors.
Jim is on vacation this week and next.
Oh, no. Oh.
He doesn't start until he gets back.
Man, Sean is old.
He's out on bereavement. We just buried him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's even worse.
But, Jim told us that he would be available to let us into the garage on Wednesday morning.
Wednesday morning.
The engineers, so I gotta find out. That's good with the keys.
So even though Jim is on leave, he's not out of the town, out of town on
I-
Wednesday. If he's gonna let you into the car.
Well, no,
Sean's
no,
away.
Sean is supposed to be around.
You know, Jim's down in Merle. Or will be.
You just have to verify that.
So who else going to that? To the engineers, because we can only have two select board.
This is on Wednesday morning at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
I can be there.
Okay, good, then I don't have to go. So it'll be Ron and Will, you guys are the guys anyways.
Yeah, I'll probably go.
You guys are having fun, I can tell. Enjoying yourselves. Okay. I was just- I thought you were supposed to.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Yes. Suki's supposed to be.
Okay.
Her, she's really.
Okay.
So.
Because we don't have anyone to operate the lift, whatever.
Well, we don't really have a lift and it's, I don't think it's the right thing to use a
Right.
longer front end loader to, people are.
Right.
Extensive adventures.
Well, I'm not saying I don't have sense of adventure, just,
Common sense. Always gets in the way. Short for real.
I would think it would, but
The open.
depends on the open portion, it should be
Yeah.
pretty sure.
And then it depends on what the listers.
Yeah.
Town meetings should not just be posted online.
Yes. Yeah. It's,
Get on the bike at all today, Dave?
I did. I have around Hardy. Nice little 40-mile ride.
Nice.
It was a beautiful day.
Another one. Last Monday was like this too. Or last Monday.
Get shots.
My shots came right after my dental appointment, just to check out, please. That's,
Yeah, mine wasn't a wellness exam.
I count 35 seconds. Mr. Yara does tend to be a bit of a trunk slammer, doesn't he?
You had a meeting at 5 with other.
Ah, Okay, he might be running a little
Yeah, he
behind.
did say he was running.
Okay.
He might be running.
I'm gonna go back to a copy of that agenda.
okay. All right, call the meeting to order. First up is modifications to the agenda. I have one, I didn't think to tell, Hannah that the executive session that we have scheduled, wasn't for personnel. It is, it should be, instead of B, there should be E, and it's, possible litigation rather than personnel. Any other modifications? If not, first item up is a festival permit for the Northeastern Speedway reunion. January 11th, July 11th to 13th, from Paul and Lisa Belfay.
If you all approve it, I just need signatures.
Do you mind if we just, if you have the copy of it there, do you mind if I just see it?
get it in.
I read it earlier. I just want to,
This is something that we historically
yes.
approved every year, so I remember it from previous years.
Well, because I remember from the application, there were timestamps on there. Okay, yeah, 7 to 4 each day,
One day.
one
I
day.
do believe it's one.
Yeah,
day.
I believe it's the 12th, right?
Yeah, I thought that was kind of unusual because it said 11 to 13,
Yeah.
but it's actually,
He probably uses the, first day to set up and the second day to tear down.
Okay,
I guess, but I'm pretty sure it's just Saturday.
yeah,
that's what I thought. Okay.
Traditionally speaking.
And what did we say the time was on it?
7-4.
so any discussion on it?
No, I would make a motion that we approve the festival permit.
I will second that.
Okay. Unless there's further discussion, all those in favor of approving the festival permit, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Point of order, Sue, are you taking minutes or mine?
Do you want to? I would love you to.
Yeah.
I'm taking them out of habit. I always got stuck with them.
Yeah, I had told,
And I do have the template. Do you have a template? I can send you
The
one.
template would be
Just-
greatly
Just a
appreciated.
Word document that you can
Oh.
alter any way you see fit.
That would be perfect.
Okay, I will do that. I would love that, Will. Thank you.
yeah, I told Hannah that probably wasn't necessary for her to come, so little meet business and open second. So, next up is the liquor license. It's for the Tack Room LLC, for the Waterford Block Party on June 6th from 5 to 9.
I will make a motion to approve the liquor license.
And I will second that.
Any discussion? If not, all those in favor of approving the liquor license, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Town meeting synopsis.
I had one note on this. When it came to the election of the office of second constable, the synopsis stated that it was by unanimous affirmative voice vote. When I replayed the recording, there was audible dissent from some members of the body. So I believe that should be edited to read affirmative voice vote as opposed to unanimous. That is all though.
So, on your second constable,
Yes, the second constable, it should read affirmative voice vote rather than unanimous.
all right, so I'll just remove unanimous.
Mhm.
Okay.
Anything else?
If we can sign it, then I'll make that change and then I'll have Mr. Thurman sign it and then I can post it.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Because that changes all on opposite page.
Okay,
I will make a motion to approve the town meeting synopsis as edited by us.
does that have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor of approving the town meeting synopsis as revised, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Whatever it is, I have to abstain, I'm guessing.
We just voted, yes, festival permit and on a.
As long as you have a forum, you should be.
Town Walk Party. And you're welcome to sign this if you'd like.
I don't know if we can, Sue. I don't know if we can. 'Cause we didn't vote.
Yeah, he didn't vote on it, so.
Okay,
Let the record show that I'm in favor of it regardless.
And Tim, we are live on YouTube, just so you are aware.
Thank you.
okay, next up is cemetery deed.
So if you don't mind, it may be a little confusing. I'm looking for permission to buy back the cemetery plot. People are no longer here. So it's not us selling it, you're buying it back. Yes, first one.
And I assume the fee is what they paid.
In 1983, they paid $200, and that's what they paid back.
Okay. Any discussion?
Make a motion to approve the cemetery deed.
I'll second. You sell it back to whom?
They're selling it back to the town. And then I have free liberty to sell it.
To whomever?
Yeah, and I have somebody in mind. I have about 6 people who are looking for plots right now.
Are the prices still the original purchase price, or does it matter?
No, it'll go to the current.
Okay. So that's out of the board's hands. What the
Yeah,
price is?
that's a cemetery policy.
Okay.
That's been set. Yep.
Out of curiosity, what is the current price?
Singles are $250, triples are, which we can always adjust at any time. I don't know what the last price increase was.
Okay.
So it would also depend on the one, whether it's residential or not.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, for the non-resident.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't afford to die, so don't do it.
I'll keep that in mind.
Doesn't sound like prices kept up with inflation. It sounds like a bargain relatively.
I think in 1980, it was.
Yeah, truly.
1900.
Well, there's 2 lots, and they're $100 a piece.
Oh, so it has gone up some. Not a lot.
Okay. Now I've lost track. Did we get?
We have a
Motion
second.
was made.
Second. Okay, any more discussion? If not, all those in favor of approving the cemetery deed, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay. Next up is agenda items for the next meeting.
I think we sort of did those at our last meeting because we didn't know that we were having this meeting. So we have quite a long list already, don't we?
Well, yeah. If I looked at my notes and I didn't have many, so.
Oh, well, in our meeting minutes, I
Oh,
remember
okay.
there being a lot. Because we thought our next meeting would be the May regular meeting.
Yeah.
I didn't have it with me.
Something to keep in the back of your mind, 4th Monday is Memorial Day.
Fourth Monday of,
May.
Right. Yeah.
okay.
Okay,
Are you mentioning that in relation to a potential special meeting?
No, I'm just saying if you're gonna skip your working meeting next month. If you're only planning
holiday.
on one, you have the identical June.
Right.
But just keep in mind there's a holiday when you normally schedule a meeting.
all right. Well, I guess, unless you have notes for them, we can just check the meeting minutes, or do you have them? Well, what we had for it.
All I had in my notes were the ones I suggested, which we already handled the town meeting synopsis today, and then I'd like to briefly discuss the resolution I came to over the gravel issue. Last
I'd
meeting.
like to hear that. I've got some legal thoughts on that as well.
Okay, good. I'd like to hear that.
Okay, David?
The last couple of meetings I mentioned with excitement for the possibility of enforcement on some of our, not just the ATVs with weight on board and, so I don't know when you're gonna discuss that, but the question is, in our budget, we had money to give to the sheriff's department, to pay the sheriff's department, and Jim had been here a number of times, and we just didn't have the manpower to do it. So did we put the money in the budget this year for enforcement, or did we just drop that because we didn't have the possibility of enforcement?
I believe we cut back from 10,000, now, that's just off, I could be wrong,
1,000 range of
To-
12, but
to 5,000.
It should be in the.
Let me take your name here.
Oh, yeah, I've got one too, but I'll let you.
I'm just looking eagerly for the joint community conversation about that issue and what we might have for ideas that we wouldn't have been exposed to before.
Okay, this would
Thank
be
you.
under general fund budget and miscellaneous. All right, it's been a minute since I've taken a look at this.
For my own edification, what does, enforcement mean here? Are we talking specifically the ATV, statute or rule or something else?
So last year, the proposed was 10,000. The actual was 4,689. We lowered that to 5,000 this year. I'm sorry, Tim, can you repeat your questions?
The select board has allocated a budget for law enforcement,
Yes.
and this would mostly be what, calls to the sheriff for response or calls to state police for response?
Yes, correct me if I'm wrong,
Sheriff.
Deb, but it was the sheriff's department.
Sheriff?
Yeah.
And tendency to sit out here sometimes when I see this at the fire station before, so.
Get some tickets written.
I'm not aware of any tickets because my understanding is that if a ticket is written, we get a portion of it. Is that?
It depends on the ordinance, if we have an ordinance that reflects that.
What about speed limit enforcement?
Speed limit enforcement, if there's no ordinance, goes to the state of Vermont.
I
So-
think we have an ordinance on speed.
And if we do it, the portion would come back to the town, if it's written under that.
So Lower Waterford Road is not town owned and maintained though, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was what's the word?
State aid road?
Yeah, but it's a state road, it's a state
No.
route.
No, it's not a state route. State aid.
So ATVs are eligible to travel on Lower Waterford Road?
Not
No,
according to your policy.
Not as of right now.
Okay,
Only class 4 town highways are
okay.
ATVs can.
Just in addition, there are stop signs in town that are routinely ignored, especially the one at the end of my driveway. And just an aside, especially in the summer when the leaves are out, my driveway is a wonderful hiding place. And I've offered both to Lyle Decker when he was a trooper and to
Any cookies?
Jim, to just back in there and give out a few warnings and maybe the stop sign won't be ignored anymore.
Refresh my memory, you're at the bottom of High Ridge?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you've got to come on to Old County
Okay.
South. The neighborhood developed some really bad habits before the sign was put up, and some of them continue. And stop signs are for stopping.
Indeed they are.
I know that a new sheriff it has been appointed, will be announced this week. So maybe we invite him to give him a chance.
Okay.
That's what I would recommend.
Okay.
Is there an action we're considering here?
No, just agenda items for the next meeting.
Oh, I see. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, and it's.
I
Yeah.
found our meeting minutes.
Yeah, well, what we have is, obviously, approval of a couple of meetings, minutes, fire department. Have to make sure and invite him this time. For the
40th?
Celebration.
repairs and the celebration. What is it? Declaration of inclusion?
Yep, declaration.
Inclusion, discussion, ethics. I'm not sure if that's ethics, municipal code of ethics.
You're supposed to run policy.
So I looked it up and it looked like the state is mandating that we use their ethics policy, their municipal ethics policy. Because remember I went on, I don't know if I told you, I told Ron. I went on the VL, the Vermont League of Cities and Towns book website under resources, looking for templates to write these policies. There were none. So I started reading about it, and I actually could have taken the 45-minute training then, and I declined to do that because I dug down the rabbit hole of why aren't there templates to these policies. And it kept sending me back to the state page, and the state page has a municipal ethics policy. So it almost looks like the state is saying we have to use theirs because there is no template under Vermont League of Cities and Towns for us to write our own.
You could always shoot them an email. Just to
I
confirm.
can, yeah. And as their appointee person, they still haven't sent me any information. They sent me the very initial welcome. You'll be hearing from us. I've heard nothing.
So do you think the state's policy is problematic for us, or doesn't encompass what we want, or?
No, it was fine. It's just ethics 101. It wasn't. I
Ron,
was gonna steal it and make it Waterford's policy, but it didn't look like that's what they're asking us to do.
Okay, so you'll check to see.
Yeah.
Ron, if you could add planning commission appointment to that, I have not had anyone reach out yet, I don't believe.
I'm having a conversation with, Matt Walsh on Wednesday.
Cool.
We're gonna brainstorm, see if we can come up with some names.
Okay, because I will post that tomorrow. I just didn't want to oversaturate the airwaves on Facebook, so to speak.
No,
So,
go ahead. I know either today or tomorrow, we're gonna have a Facebook post on Green Day.
okay,
Pressing. So two people waiting until next week.
that's perfect.
Well, I would propose then that the executive session for personnel matter.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
What time?
Yep, yeah, I had that written down. I just hadn't
Okay,
got to that.
confirming, thanks.
And so it's a question of whether we want to have a discussion about enforcement or if we want to wait and hope we have a less busy agenda. In the future.
Ooh, cemetery section. Do we want that on the next one? Do we think we'll have,
Possibly, we would ask permission or somebody else.
okay, why don't we put that on there?
Especially with Memorial Day coming up after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a cemetery committee meeting tomorrow night, so.
Okay. All right.
I don't know if this needs to be a long item, but I'd like to start a preliminary conversation about our purchasing policy, the town purchasing policy.
The one that doesn't exist.
Well, I hear rumors of its existence.
It exists.
It
exists.
We messed that up last summer. We did something, so it went inactive.
We did what?
I'm curious if one mistake renders the whole thing inactive following that mistake, if there was a mistake.
You'd have to talk to Heather about that. That's how it works.
Yeah. In any case, I think a review could make sense.
I agree.
What were you saying, so?
I never heard that it was rendered.
No.
We didn't dissolve it or do anything to it.
Okay, I'll ask you.
We didn't follow it for something.
Well, I
But
know,
not following it's
Doesn't.
still the policy. It would be a screw up on our part, not the policy's part.
That's sort of the way I would read it legally as well, just that
Yeah.
one part is rendered moot, doesn't render the
If I
whole
break
thing
the
moot.
law, I can't break it the next time because I broke it.
Oh, we'll just do a better job of catching you next time, right?
yeah, and I, if it's the issue I'm thinking of, it was, we ended up going back and not
And redoing it.
read it, not sort of undoing what we'd done wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
did.
did.
We did that. We put the bid out again because we said we messed up.
Oh, okay. So maybe we're good. I'm not sure.
But you'd still like to
Yes.
have a look at it.
Mhm.
All right. Anything else? If not,
Sounds like we have another big day.
executive session, do you have a motion?
Do you mind if
Thanks,
I,
Bill.
before you do you mind if I snag a photo of your rest of it? So I can,
If you can read it.
it can be too harsh. I also read handwriting for a living, so.
You can also look at Heather's draft meeting minutes.
Yeah.
That's where we got most of it.
Okay,
Some of it we added.
Looking for a motion for executive
Yeah.
session? Also move.
I will second.
Okay, all those in favor of going into executive
Are we
session?
inviting anybody in?
We can do that after we get in.
Okay.
We don't have to
Yeah.
make a motion.
Say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? And
And then we should invite the listers
Yeah.
into our executive session.
Entered at 6:21 PM. If you'll give me 1 second so I can turn the live screen off.
Okay.
Okay. end stream, and goodbye.